Morning lights on the charts again. Coffee brewing, market spinning. Another day in the digital tide. Macro waves and the numbers collide. Washington talking the clarion bill. Crypto regulations moving uphill. Bitcoin watching the Capitol floor. Trying to open another new door. Tokenized assets rising fast. 25 billion growing mass. Old world money learning the game. Blockchains quietly changing the frame. Sunrise over the market floor. Bitcoin knocking on the door. Macro winds beginning to shift. Another cycle starting to lift. We ride the signals, follow the flow. Watching the capital start to grow. Morning macro charts align. Another day in the crypto time. ETF flows coming back again. Institutional capital moving in. Ethereum riding the same wave too. Wall Street watching the crypto view. AI rotations start to appear. New market narratives drawing near. While BlackRock pauses the lending stream. $2 trillion inside the machine. Old finance shaking under the weight. New rails building the future of trade. Blockchains running beneath the skin of the system the world lives in. Sunrise over the market floor. Bitcoin knocking on the door. Macro winds beginning to shift. Another cycle starting to lift. Morning macro charts in sight. Trading signals and morning light. Welcome back to the daily flow. W3BC, let's go.
Hey, GM. Hope you enjoyed that Ibiza chill. You know what to tell you, Brian. Excuse me. I'm into that. We might do some more intros in the Ibiza chill format. Definitely a big fan of that. All right, let's turn this background music down. Let's do that. All right. Wait, that's the same song again. We got to go to and just let this sucker repeat. All right, that should just repeat now with some background music. If it's too loud, just let me know in the chat, guys. Just want to make sure. But that was great. That was super chill. It is 8:06 on the East Coast. We did have to deal with daylight savings time yesterday. And so hopefully, you're doing all right. Some people, they don't observe daylight savings time. They don't do that in a few places here in the U.S. And maybe some other parts in the world don't change their time. I don't know. I don't even know. But actually, that's a really good thing. We can look that up, or you guys can put it in the chat. If you are watching from another country, do you deal with daylight savings time? Is that something other parts of the world do, or is this just where we're at? Because we're crazy here, and this is the dumbest thing. We're not all farmers anymore. We don't need to do this. Let's just agree on, let's just make it 30 minutes back and then just make it permanent, and we'll just split the difference and never fucking do it again. GM, have a little coffee. I'm gonna pull away. I'm gonna start pulling away from the mic when I sip, so you guys don't hear that. Here we go. DJ and Brian outside of Cafe Mambo watching the sunset. There you go. Enjoy. GM, everybody. I see Brian. I told you guys last week when Curtis got the gold, DJ and Brian said, like, no, that ain't gonna happen ever again. And so now he's popping in. He's popping in early, making sure he gets that gold medal. Brian getting the gold again today. Curtis picking up the silver. Chris over on X, my guy, G, homie, what is up? He's picking up the bronze, just picking it up over on X today. So shout out to everybody. We are live on 3 platforms, as you guys know. We are live on LinkedIn. Okay, we're including some of the professional people, as you know, looking for a job. While I do this as well, but I want to join a team. I want to help build something. I want to join a team and do all that stuff, but still also create content and do what I'm doing. Don't worry. And so we're on LinkedIn. We're trying to appeal to the pros, to the professionals. So GM to y'all. Also, we are live on YouTube, as you know, and that's mainly just for my mother's sake. Yeah, because there's very few of you that watch over on YouTube, and that's fine. The idea is I've built my platform on X. And so that's where we are. That's where we're at right now. And then after this week, so we'll be booking my flight today. I got to get my coffee in. I haven't had enough yet. Be booking my flight today. Going to be going to Chicago. My daughter and I are flying to Chicago to go hang out with the family for a couple days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll be back here. We will be going live all those days. I'm going to have my stuff. We'll be live on the road doing the thing, doing the show. It will be even earlier for me. It'll be like craziness because it is 7 a.m. Central. So that's what time we're going to get started. But I'm up early anyway. It doesn't matter. And I live in the East Coast, so this is the time zone that my body's on. And I'm only in there for a few days. And so bada boom, bada bing. We're going to keep going all week. So make sure you guys tune in, set your alarms, set your alerts, GM, smash the like button. I knew you took it personal, Brian. I knew it. Ain't no way. Ain't no way somebody take my gold. Ain't no way. All right. How are things looking in the markets? We're about even today. It's still a little early. It's only 8 o'clock. Things could get sharp at 9:30. You never know. Could get sharp before then. Usually things start cooking a little bit before. But we are gonna play. I'm gonna play the 9:30 15-minute candle trade game. And so basically, if you've not heard me talk about this yet, it's been back tested. It is. I mean, it's not a guaranteed thing, but I mean, you got to be patient, right? Because there's fake outs and stuff. But the whole idea is you just and there's like I think we were talking to Bits of Wealth last Wednesday night on Trade Daddies. Make sure you guys set an alarm for that too, 9 p.m. Eastern. Mike the Modern Canadian and we are doing the Trade Daddies show on Wednesday nights. But he was talking about like in the stock market, I think there's an indicator or there's an idea, a trading philosophy where you take a look and you mark like the first hour of the day. And then, from there, I know that there's other indicators where you got the day high, day low, all that kind of stuff, whatever. But this is specifically the 15-minute candle at 9:30 when the markets open up on Bitcoin. Is you wait for the candle to close, you mark the top of I've usually got this thing marked up well before it closes, and then I just slide them. If the candle moves more, just slide it to create the range. But you create this 15-minute candle range, and once it breaks out is when you really got to start paying attention, because you might see it break out and then come right back in and go the other way, or it might break out, come back, and then get rejected or get sent off from there. So we'll talk about this more when we look at the charts today. But that's 9:15. Let's see. Is this thing live? Are we live? Should be. The chat's going. So actually, you don't need to be live, but it does say live up in the corner, and I am watching it on my phone for the chat over on X. So I think so. Yes. There we go. Just confirm that. Shout out to my chat, my homies. Michael Navarro, let's get it. So I was talking to you about Chicago this week. Doing the show. We're going to keep doing the show. Also continuing working on the Discord. So that will be, it should be fully operational, should be ready to launch by, I'm going to say next week, because I want to give myself the grace of this week traveling for a few days. Still being present for the show. I'm not going to stop doing the show like I had done in the past. Like when I was traveling, I was traveling so much that it was really hard to keep going. But this is something that, look, I'm up early every morning, and so this is fantastic. So, all right, let's check out. What do we want to check out? Let's get into some charts, some news, some numbers, all that stuff. Really quick before we do, again, good morning. Thank you for being here. Bitcoin sitting around, let's see, 67.8 this morning. So when we get to the charts, we'll look at CME. We'll see if we've created a gap. Haven't even looked at any of that stuff this morning. We just kind of got everything ready, pulled up all the tabs, checked out some of the articles, and away we go. Fear and greed index, let's just refresh this just to make sure. Still sitting at a 7 down here. It is much different on CoinMarketCap. It's showing like around 20 or something. But right now on CoinGlass, the fear and greed index is sitting at a 7. So it's either future forecasting or we're living in the past here, because when we go to CoinMarketCap, it is showing 21. A little bit different. Now, I do know that CoinMarketCap does refresh their stuff a little bit later in the day. It's like usually like around 11 o'clock. A lot of that stuff will change. That's maybe when they've got their data pull, whatever it is. And we could be wrong here. This is good. It just went to 20. It says 19 right here. So who knows? Who knows? We could be slipping and sliding as far as the fear and greed index on CoinMarketCap goes to match closer to that 7 that we are seeing on CoinGlass. But market's sitting about even, 2.3 trillion, not much of a change, up a little bit, always better than down, but really not doing a whole lot. Altcoin season sitting at a 37. We are nowhere near an altcoin season. Are you kidding me? In extreme fear, nowhere near an altcoin season. My goodness. We're climbing a little bit as far as what this thing goes. And when we look at the charts, when we open up TradingView, we'll look at the total 3. Okay, and that's everything excluding Bitcoin, Ethereum. All right, that might be the top 10 if I'm not mistaken. We'll check that out in just a few minutes here. We'll get over there in a second. Here's our shrimping. Right now, the top 100 coin performance over the last 90 days. If you are sitting in this section, I'd probably take some profits if I were you. Definitely, like, if you're up here, take some fucking profits. Pippin, why is Pippin up so much? What is happening with Pippin? What is up with Pippin? USA stock market, pre-market looks rough. Oh, we're going to have a rough day, but that could mean that crypto has a great day. Or get ready to put in those shorts. Let's see, Bitcoin sitting at, oh man, it is slipping more. Bitcoin's already slipping more, down 25% in the last 100 days. Remember, this is our star north, our true north, our true north star. I think that's what I'm looking for. This is our guiding light, if you will. Where should the market be? So I'm like, if you are outperforming Bitcoin right now, great job, buddy, great job. But if you're not, and if you're wondering what to do, oh, look at this. Midnight's gone from the bottom. Where did midnight go? What? The fuck happened here? How do you go from trading 80% down in the last 100 days? That doesn't even make sense. This fucker was like literally down 80%. We have to go back and check the tapes from the last time we did this on Friday. Midnight was down 80% over the last 100 days last week. And it is now up 65% with no fucking rip except for this. What is this? That's nothing. That's like 2 cents. It's not even a cent. That's the monthly. What? I call bullshit on CoinMarketCap. Whatever that is. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed something like that. We should go back and look at this because that's craziness. Midnight was at the fucking bottom of the barrel. This was the shrimp and op. But there's no pop in the chart. How did it go up? Huh. Oh, we're gonna have to do some more research into that. That seems weird. Why is it up here? All right. Well, that's enough worrying about midnight. All right. Let's do this. Let's zoom in a little bit so you guys can see a little better. Here we go. You got Bitcoin coming in at 67.8. It is up a little bit today. ETH 19999. Just under 2 G's. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Up almost 4% today. Get up over 2 G's. I bet it is on a leverage futures count. You got BNB at 628. XRP 135. Solana 83. Whoa, that was. Whoa. Are they all doing it? Okay, Bitcoin's spinning. Ethereum's doing nothing. BNB does nothing. XRP is doing a little spinny spin. Little Solana. That's like a full transition. Like a PowerPoint presentation. Tron, 28 cents. Dogecoin has a little spinny deal. Wow, okay. There you go. And just under 10 cents here. Sitting at 9, or just above 9 cents here. Cardano at the number 10 spot. Hanging tough, 25 cents. Up 0.69% today. There you go. Cardano doing big things. Doing big things, Cardano. Bitcoin Cash, 449. Okay. Chainlink, 879. That's a great price for Chainlink. I'm going to tell you what. Even if it goes down a little bit more, that is a great price for Chainlink. My goodness. Based off of what they're doing, who they're with, how it's happening, what they're going to do. Sheesh. Get you some Chainlink, man. Get you out. That is one of the few. It's Bitcoin. Got to have a little bit of Ethereum. Chainlink and Ondo. Those are the 4. That's what I'm riding with right now. If there's anything else, let me know. Drop it in the chat. If I'm missing something for the long term. Like, listen, everybody can have your little fun. This is my now portfolio. This is my trade portfolio. This is memes. This is whatever. I'm talking your long-term cold storage. What the fuck are you saving for, like, your kids? What are you saving for your retirement, right? Like, what is the shit that you're putting into cold storage that you're not going to touch for like 10 years? Let's be real with it. You ain't going to put fucking Dogecoin in that. What the fuck? That's retarded. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink. I like Ondo. If it doesn't make it, whatever. Like, I fully believe that they are, based on who they're connected with and how it's connected. And look, as far as bringing the traditional finance on chain, they've got a big role in this. And that's why I think, Chainlink as well, they'll have a big role in all of this. You just got to back what's going to be big. We could get back into maybe some AI plays, but it doesn't have to come from crypto. It doesn't have to be coins, stuff like that. Just, we'll be looking into these things. We'll be looking at the narratives as they break, as they shape, all that stuff. But for now, my long term, I would say, I say those 4 coins, but right now I am literally only buying Bitcoin. And maybe, and I do have a little bit of Ethereum, but a little bit of Chainlink probably as well. At 880, I can't tell you guys it is such a good price and it's a good deal, but not to get any. Hello. This is our morning wake up GM. Come on over. You don't want to come on camera? Oh, you just want to give me a hug? Okay. All right. Good morning. All right, little G just wanted to say good morning. Gold, copper, German banknotes. Okay. German banknotes. Let's look that up. What is German banknotes? German banknotes have a rich history transitioning from the gold-backed marks of the German Empire to the hyperinflation notes of the Weimar Republic, the currency of the Third Reich. Okay. All right. Well, good luck with your search on the notes. Canton coming out of nowhere. 14 cents. There we go. All Let's do this. Let's hop over to the charts. We can start with the Bitcoin chart, and then we'll move on to some other things. Look at this. We did have a little bit of a breakout. This is the daily chart, but look at this range that Bitcoin. And we looked at this last week, but we did not come out of it. We have been in a 9%, 8.9, so just under a 9% range for 30 days. You guys know what that means? Do you know what that means? We are due. Now, we did have, let's measure this, because this is pretty tight up here, too. You know, we had a little bit of a breakout, but for the most part, we were within this range right here. 10.66% for 67 days. Well, that's heavy consolidation. Those are some tight ranges for consolidation. I mean, we could be doing that again. Let's do, where's the shape? Rectangle. So if we were to follow that and say, okay, it was down here. And put that there. That gives us through middle of April, right before tax day, April 14th. So we could be looking at the same kind of a situation where we're just going to range, tight range. You know, obviously a little bit of peaks and valleys. This is tradable, certainly tradable. You know, a couple percent with some leverage is, you know, that's how you make your gains. And you know, you can take those small wins. You can trade a couple times and stack that up. And over the course of that 60 days, you might make a good amount if you are playing right. If you're watching your charts, you can short on the way down and you can long on the way up. It's real easy. Very doable. You can trade chop if you know what you're doing. You can get whacked, but you can trade chop. It's not as fun as, you know, catching one of these runners like this, like putting in a short like around here and catching a runner. Sometimes I put on high leverage to try to catch a runner with a very tight stop. Because if you can catch a runner on high leverage, blow them out, but high leverage, boom, that's a win. But you can get cooked like a goose pretty quick. Ring 1010, GM, brother. Hope you are well. Quant, Zebek, and Jasmine. What is going on with you? I haven't looked at the Jasmine chart in a while. We'll look at that in a little while. Remind me, guys. Remind me to look at some. If there's any other charts you want to look at, make sure that you pull them up. Let me make sure I've got the leapfrog indicator on there so you guys can take a look at that. You can see. Just let me know again if there's any charts you want. Let me know. Oh, look at that. Look at all those things in our chop zone. The chop zone. See how long that lasts for, huh? Keep this box up on here for a while. All right, let's look at the total. The total crypto market cap. Oops. We don't really need the VWAPs on for this, but you can see we are way below what we had been, sitting at about 2.31 trillion. I know the everybody wants to get back up as far as the market cap goes, but this is really the one that we want to look at, right? Whatever happened to? I know I had the chart. The total 3 is the total crypto. So like this is a good indicator, and it's got stable coins and your Solanas and your XRPs and all that stuff. So it's not as good as the total that has all of those removed, and it gives you basically everything outside of the top 10. That's a really good altcoin indicator. That's what I like to use, and I don't know why it's not on my list. That's weird. Let's just put that back up. Let's see, what is it? What is the name of that chart? For whatever reason, I like. Let's see. I just upped my thing. I don't need that. What? Where's the? What is? Do you guys know the name of that one of the charts? For whatever reason, it's one of the total charts, but I can't remember. It's everything minus the top 10, and I just can't. I'm blanking on the thing, and it's not on my list here. It should be total 3, and then that one. If you guys can remember for me, let me know. Not getting help from Google. I don't need the ideas. Just give me the fucking chart. Let's see others. Yowly. That's what it is. Oh, man, I'm a bozo. Oh, we got to spell it right. Others. Here we go. And let's put this back up here. That's wild that it wasn't there, because it definitely has been. All right. So this right here is the chart that we should be looking at for altcoin season, right? This is the chart that you want to see, because this is everything. Look, and we did come back down here to this scam wick that we saw in October. What do they say? What is once a wick becomes a candlestick, and we saw that. That is proof in the pudding right there. Hopefully, this has the potential. Look, and I will smoke some hopium here. Rounded bottoms pay the bills. There you go. That looks like in the making of a rounded bottom. Now, could we see another leg down? Absolutely. But we want a little hopium. Oh, look, down below. There it is. There's the graphic. Right now, until April 7th, you can get a deposit bonus. If you have not joined us on BitUnex yet, you can get yourself a deposit bonus, 20% deposit bonus. Also, there is a volume bonus. You can see there's different thresholds. Up to 10,000, you get $15. Up to 5 million, you get 400. It's really not that hard to hit a couple million. As far as especially between now and April 7th, you give yourself almost a month. Today is what, the 9th? Today is the 9th of March, Monday the 9th. But join. Hang out. The Discord is going to be live. We're going to be doing some special stuff in the Discord, and you can definitely count on some fun stuff happening with the partnership with BitUnex and our crew, especially when we migrate over to the Discord. So get in there now, get trading, get your sign up bonus, get that free money. It's free money to trade with. It is yours. And then start trading with that free money and earn more free money. You want free money? There you go. Join our trading group on BitUnex. No KYC. They got liquidity on just about fucking everything. Plenty of liquidity on Bitcoin, that's for sure. We're trading Bitcoin right now. Maybe we'll get into doing some altcoins as well. But for now, until everything bottoms on the altcoin season, I'm just trading Bitcoin. Once we establish that a bottom is in, then we get back into trading some altcoins. But for now, it's the king, baby. It is the king. All right, so that is okay. Boom. I'm glad that we figured that chart. That was racking my brain crazy that I could not remember others. All right. There's the graphic. Trade Daddies. Trade Daddies, Wednesday night, 9 p.m. See you there. Okay, let's do this. Let's look at, let's see, the Bitcoin one. This is the futures chart. Let's take a look and see. Oh, man, that's 2 for 2. Let's zoom in on this and see. Are we looking at any gaps? Because no, we're filling it already. So there probably was a gap. If it was down, if we started at, down here, depending on where we started at, because Friday we saw low of 67,860, open here was 67,085. Yeah, so there was a couple $100 gap, filled it already, no big whoop, but this is a bigger gap at 80,000, 79,665. It looks like all the way up to about 81,300, somewhere in there. Obviously, we could zoom in and get the exacts, but in the rough estimate, that's where we do have an open CME gap that is very close, potential to close before a larger move down or on our way back up. You never know. We talked about rounded bottoms pay the bills. I've heard a couple big names say that was it. We've bottomed. Rounded bottoms pay the bills. I'm gonna make a song. tomorrow morning there will be two songs before the stream goes live. So bear with me. I'll go live before 8 o'clock to counteract the extra song. And maybe what I'll do eventually is go live earlier and just play more music. It'll be like radio for a while, like what always the intention was. Remember, that's what I went to school for, broadcast communications. I was on my school radio. That's what I did. So maybe we'll get back to something like that. I've always wanted to do that. Eventually having a radio station or radio channel is pizza company, pizza place, radio channel, and like a little tavern that sells like liquor and beer and pizza and burgers. That's it. And French fries and tater tots. Easy. Tacos maybe for Taco Tuesday. The staples. Like one of those you just feel like a home cooked meal. Come on to the tavern. That's the ambition. There we go. All right. We need another bull run. We need a big bull run. And we need a lot more partnerships and a big bull run to make that happen. So let's go. Speaking to the universe, remember, words are spells. What you state, you create, manifest your own destiny. All those things. Chris, GM, sir. Oh, CJ in the building. Midas in the building. Let's go. Okay, so remember, this is the Bitcoin futures. This is also not the chart that we care about, rounded bottoms. Bitcoin dominance rising a little bit to 59%. Today, we did peak out last week at damn near 60%, but we just can't get back over that. We'll see if dominance goes back up. Somebody had said that, or I had read an article that I believe a country is about to flip the script on Bitcoin. So we'll see. I spread a rumor about Russia over the weekend. So if you guys see that tweet, repost it out. Do that for me. Okay, here we go. Here's the Bitcoin chart again. As you guys can see, we are in our tight range. If we play out exactly like the last time we consolidated in a tight range up here, this is the same time frame. This is the chart from that. So April 14th is what would get us out of this. Hopefully we'll break out before then. And we are in a downtrend currently. We are getting to the lower side of the trend. Last week we were on the high side of the trend. We kind of, on different time frames, we were out. We closed some small time frame candles outside of the trend. But you can see right here on the daily, man, this thing got pretty. And obviously we could be a little bit more scientific with the lines, I'm sure. But as far as what we've got drawn here, man, this thing was kissing it on the daily. And then we eventually, came back down. But we are here on Bitcoin. Let's look at the gold chart. Let's do this, actually. Let's do two charts next to each other. Sweet, linear perpetual contracts. Let's go Bitcoin. And why not gold versus Bitcoin? Can't we just do gold? Here we go. And let's go to the beginning of 2026. Let's see. Hello, sweetheart. How are you? These are both on the day. Day. You want to look at two charts with us? Here. All right. So on the left, this chart right here is gold on the daily. It had an all-time high right up here of 55.9813, so just under 5,600. And then we took a very sharp correction with a low to 4402, rebalanced back up to 5100. Things are on the way back up, as you can see, if we draw our nice little trend line. Bitcoin doing something very similar, with the exception of, instead of climbing, we dipped. Obviously, instead of this was a big sharp correction, and then we're headed back up. Bitcoin itself had a big sharp correction, and I think I guess we can. We can chop through a little bit. There you go. All right, so Bitcoin and gold doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing right now. A little bit of a correction. How are you this morning? Would you rather, let me ask you a question. Would you rather have a piece of gold that you can hang on to in your hand, or a Bitcoin in your crypto wallet? You'd rather have Bitcoin? Yeah, that's my little G right there. You heard it first. The future generations, they want Bitcoin before they want future gold or real gold, right? Do you want some gold in your portfolio too? All right. I love you. What? Are you going to hang out for the what? Let me mute myself. Hang on 1 second, fam. All right. There we go. There we go. Oh, Carrie in the building. Let's get it. Carrie in the house. Hopefully the F1 race went well this weekend. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I didn't get a chance to bet on it. I didn't realize that the bets closed the day before. So I had to have my bet in on Saturday for the race on Sunday. Didn't even know that. So next time I'll know. Probably because of the time difference. If I'm not mistaken. Who knows? It was in Australia, right? All right. So gold today is not doing as well as Bitcoin. Bitcoin's pumping. Bitcoin is up today. Gold is moving all around. Is dancing. This is Monday. Yep. Okay. All right. Let's get into some news because I know that's what we got up here. Well, this is our stablecoin market cap. Here we go. We have a, let's see, 3.12 or 312 billion, but it looks weird. I don't like the way that the stablecoin market cap chart looks. And so this is what we use. We use DeFi Llama so we can, whoa. Let's just get 2026 under the hood here. There we go. We started at 200 billion. We were at 312 billion. So 2026 is going pretty well for stablecoins. We understand that is the big talk. And then, when we kind of get into, this is leading into our headlines, right? Like, because it's time to really start looking at what's going to be going on with regulation, what's going on with framework, what's going on with the ground rules, all that stuff. And before we get into some of the governmental stuff, this is the headline that I'd seen this morning. When you see one cockroach, there are probably more. Yikes. We are going to have to talk about this article. BlackRock is forced to halt redemption as $2 trillion private lending bubble starts showing cracks. Whoa. BlackRock has restricted withdrawals from one of its flagship private credit funds after a surge in redemption requests. $2 trillion. Whoa. The world's largest asset manager said it would limit withdrawals from the $26 billion HPS corporate lending fund after investor redemption requests exceeded the fund's quarterly liquidity cap. People want their money. JG Wentworth, man, that's my money and I want it now. Let's see. Investors sought to withdraw 1.2 billion, but the fund approved 620 million. Whew. There's a little chart in Polymarket about rate cuts. The development marks the first time HLend has triggered its redemption cap and follows similar moves by other major alternative asset managers, raising questions about whether the industry's long credit boom may be encountering its first real test. Shares of BlackRock rose 6.7% Friday amid a broader market sell-off fueled by weaker than expected U.S. jobs data, escalating geopolitical tensions tied to expansion Israel-Iran conflict. And I don't think this is going to get any better. From what I understand, that we're going into our next week of the war, and that is happening. Also, the idea of golly. Oh man, I lost where I was at that on there. But the market cap, the stock market opening up, like someone was saying, pre-market is looking pretty rough. Let's see, can we let's check out Yahoo Finance, I guess. I don't know where you get the best pre-market data. Markets, stocks. Can you take me to the stock market? Do they show pre-market activity? Let's see. Let's just check NVIDIA. Like, should say pre-market up here, right? Yeah, down 2% pre-market. Okay, so we're pretty sure the stock market's going to get whacked today. We'll see what happens and everything else. George won, wild race. There you go. Carry. Carry in a building. All right. That's interesting. All right, this is what we really want to get into. Clarity Act gaining momentum again. What proposed U.S. crypto bill means for Bitcoin and regulation. We're going to get another chance. This is regaining attention. Lawmakers push for clear crypto regulations with experts predicting the bill passing by summer 2026. And I had seen something posted this weekend that basically alluded to when this passes, when the Clarity Act passes, banks are going all in. So I would think that we've got, and really, as we get closer to July, and as we understand the probability of this actually getting passed, we may see that trigger the, a little bit of a price increase when people are anticipating this. Because if that is the case, and banks do go in, and we've already, between now, we've looked at the Bitcoin chart, and, between now and April, we should make a decision of what's going to happen. And even if we go down and it's like a leverage flush, right? It's a liquidation thing. We want to make sure that, anybody that set their longs gets smoked out, one last time before things go up into, another echelon probably, with Bitcoin and its market cap and price structure and all that stuff. And so, we haven't seen any of those days in a long time. I mean, you looking at when you look at the Bitcoin chart, and we are on the daily, when we have a big scam wick like we had here, that's a leverage flush we had on Saturday, February 7th. Here was a big leverage flush that we saw on Friday, November 21st. The October 10th, D-Day, everybody remembers that one. All of these big scam wicks are leverage flushes, right? Like clearing out before a move. Look, you see how it goes down and it clears all this shout and then goes up. Here it didn't quite work out that way. Here it did, right? Usually there's a big scam wick, and whether it's to clear out liquidation longs or shorts or whatever it is, there's always a wick before a directional change, right? And it's an indicator. Does it work 100% of the time? No. There's a lot of other confluence that you need with other indicators that you can look at to make sure that okay, maybe we are cooling off now. This isn't just a little bit of a fake out. But look, here we go. We've looked at, here we go. During the crypto market downturn, the proposed Clarity Act is gaining renewed attention in the United States. This is great, right? When attention is down, they pass all the frameworks so that we can kick things off and get rolling and get people excited again. We cannot have retail come back until these foundations are laid. Until the banks can offer retail crypto retail aren't coming back because they're afraid of getting fucking smoked up again. Us, we're here. We're crazy. We've done this. We're taking the lumps. We're taking the arrows. We're pioneers, but we got it, baby. Let's see. Kristen Smith believes the legislation could pass by July 2026, although the political process remains complex. Her timeline is similar to projections from analysts at JP Morgan, who also expect the bill to be approved around mid-year. Brad Garlinghouse is even more optimistic, suggested that the chances of the bill passing could reach 90% by April, reflecting strong confidence within parts of the crypto sector. I mean, we know Trump is pushing, saying, let's go, let's push it forward, let's go. Hopefully, we don't want to push things forward and have negative repercussions. We know that there will be. If we can, mitigate some of that stuff, and let's not take our time, but let's not, rush to push something whether you agree or disagree, Brian Armstrong being vocal saying, I'm not with this last time, and, kind of halting everything. At the end of the day, could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. We got to analyze everything that changes between, then and then, or then and now, whatever. But whatever. Political changes still remain, even with renewed momentum. Passing a standalone crypto bill in Washington remains difficult. Unlike other legislation, the Clarity Act cannot easily be attached to larger government spending bills without bipartisan support. We know there was something in the housing bill about CBDCs, right? Interesting. They always got a little hide some stuff in there. Ooh, we like this. Bull versus bear scenarios for crypto. If the Clarity Act passes, many analysts believe it could create a bull. If the Clarity Act passes, many analysts believe it could create a bullish environment for crypto by providing regulatory clarity that attracts institutional investors. Clear rules could engage banks, asset managers, and traditional finance firms to expand their crypto offerings. Here we go. Bearish scenario remains possible if political disagreements delay the bill or significantly alter its structure. Prolonged uncertainty could keep institutional capital cautious and slow adoption in the U.S. market. I believe, it is a bipartisan issue, and it sounds like the Democrats are willing to come to the table. So hopefully things move forward. Again, not expeditiously, but let's not drag our feet. Let's move forward so that we can build. Ted Cruz, Ted Pillows, crypto analyst, pointed out that Bitcoin slipping below 68K may trigger a retest of 65 to 66 opponent unless it quickly reclaims the 70K level. We're at 68.84 today. Definitely things are moving up, but again, we are headed down unless this right here, this Friday, the 6th of February, this candle, this wick that we have, that wicked us down to 60. The low was 59,846 and 70 cents on BitUnex futures. Speaking of, if you want to trade with the team on BitUnex, make sure when the thing comes by, look, you can join the squad on BC Game right here. You can bet on sports, you can play blackjack, you can play casino, you can bet on the fights. We bet on the UFC. I'll tell you what, let's talk about this really quick. I bet on the UFC this weekend. I won some and lost some. That BMF fight. Charles Oliveira is a great fighter, a great grappler. He's not obviously a striker because that was not part of his game plan, or he didn't want to strike against Max Holloway because Max Holloway is the true BMF. Absolutely, without a doubt. You've seen him fight this thing so many times. Pointed at the ground. Bah, 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 bah. He pointed at the ground at the end. Had 10 seconds of scrapping. That should have been the fight. That's the BMF. The BMF is not, I'm going to grapple for 25 minutes and win a belt. That's not what it's about. It should be two grapplers if that's the case. But this is a striking match. That's the way it should be. It's the BMF. So we lost that fight because Max Holloway is the BMF, has been and always will be. Charles Oliveira holds the belt right now, but I would like to see Max Holloway get another chance at that. All right. Here we go. Back to the charts. Let's look at, we've done Bitcoin. Let's look at Ethereum. Anything popping? We are... Definitely. Well, we need to let's go to the weekly on this. A lot of drawings and crazy. Oh, we're in the triangle of love. That's right. We are on the high side of the triangle of love. All we need is a little bit of a push and boom skis. We are in it to win it. We are hanging tight on this line, huh? We could probably get rid of this so it's easier to see. Get rid of that. Look, we've got 50-day up here. You got the 200-day up there. So we got some activity going up. We've got some reason to have activity going up. Does that mean that's what the market does? Look, we are on a local uptrend of a much larger downtrend. Multi-year downtrend. This started in December of 2021, fam. We could cut a little bit. We could. All right. Well, all right. Actually, we'll exclude all of this activity, this dip and this pump. So we're going to say that this started in August of 2022. Do you think this was done by design? Because look at this. Before... this is actually the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, but let's do this. Let's get off the Ethereum Bitcoin chart because this would make more sense to what we're looking at. And this is what we were hoping for, is that we bounce and then we pump. Look, there's been a lot of Everything I was looking at just changed. Max was going to bust him up if he chose to strike. Michael Navarro, 100%. 100%. 100%. He is the bad motherfucker. I mean, you've seen Charles. I've seen videos. We said earlier today, ETH over 2K. And it is over 2K on the Ethereum Tether linear futures contracts on BitUnex, which you could trade. You could join the trade squad if you want. Real easy. Real easy. Use code JChains. Come hang out. Get yourself a trade bonus. Get you a volume bonus. A deposit bonus and a volume bonus is what you get. And so you can see the information. I'll post something today. I did post some over the weekend, I believe, on the 1% Better account. So if you guys are not following that, make sure you check it out. It is the old W3BC Media account. It is the 1% Better Club. That's also what the discount's going to be, or the Discord's going to be named. That's what we are. That's who we are. We're the 1% Better. Everything we do, we strive to be 1% better. Mind, body, portfolio, everything all the time. Some days you don't get to hit all three, and that's A-okay, as long as you're working on at least one thing, right? As long as you make it to the gym and you get wrecked and you don't read or you don't learn something, it happens, man. But if you can work out, you can learn something, and you can win a trade or two, it's mind, body, portfolio, man. Or if you spot buy, you DCA days, same thing. I'm trader focused. I'm trader mindset because I'm doing a lot of that lately. But the whole idea of mind, body, portfolio. Smash the like button. All right. Excuse me. Ethereum. So again, like we were saying earlier, this bottom line, this yellow dotted line right here, is the bottom of our trend. It is a multi-year trend up. The Bitcoin, we were looking at the Bitcoin Ethereum chart before, and that was just completely not what we wanted. We are hopefully going to just bounce around here on the low side during this consolidation phase between this the way we got this thing laid out is between now and August. Who knows? You know, they were talking about the Clarity Act being passed in April, potentially by July. So all of, this look could go out the window. Instead of bouncing, we could start moving up quicker here. Okie dokie. Let's look at XRP. Still, oh man, this isn't even worse of a downtrend that XRP is in. I would say that, anything that you buy that is this low historically, great opportunity to make some money in the future. Markets are cyclical. They all come back. XRP is not going anywhere. XRP is certainly not going anywhere. If you wanted to add XRP to your portfolio, you could. We do have this the scam wick that we saw on the 2nd of February down to, where did this go? $1.12. Honestly, like, if you could DCA in all the way down, or just wait until we come back down there, set an alarm, or just set an order at $1.12. See what happens. $1.11. $1.12. I'll do $1.12 just in case. $1.13. Whatever. Just in case, you never know. And then even if it does go a little bit lower, it's going to go back up. So you did yourself a service by at least DCAing into XRP. Here's our Ondo chart. Let's go. The weekly looks terrible. Look at the 30-minute. We're going to have to zoom in like crazy. I would say that we are but sometimes I chop off the bottom of a candle, sometimes not. Here I think I will choose to. We'll just say we'll negate that whole candle because it didn't mean anything. It went down and then right back up, and then we started here and went up. So like this is kind of like our trend line, right? This is what we're sitting on. We're on a local up. This is the 30-minute chart. So if we decide to back this thing out into maybe the hourly, let's see. Do we extend into yesterday afternoon? So we'll see how this, this could be just a local uptrend. This could be the beginning of a reversal. Remember, we had a big wick right here, which usually is the indicator that we're going to start going in another direction. And so that being said, let's measure this little zone we've been in. right, so it's been almost 3 days that we've been inside a 5% zone. And so, a lot of cryptos are way more volatile than 5%. And so it just lets you know that we're due for a move. We could probably find this on a lot of projects that we have just been sitting in tight zones. Let's see, go here. 3.91% in the last 3 days. And so these could extend out, as it could turn into a 7 or 8 or 9% zone. You never know, but it could stay a tight consolidation while the overall market consolidates as well. How's AVAX looking? AVAX is doing all right. Look at that. Last kind of following suit on some of the other ones. Trending up locally. Solana trending up locally. Again, I am not buying any altcoins at all right now. And I would probably venture to say, let's see, this is the previous day low. That's not what we're looking at. We need to go to the daily. I don't know if this Solana thing is going to play out, but look, like we came up to the high side of this little range here and then got rejected and sent right back down. So either we're going to try to come back up or we're going to fuck around and then just come back down. And again, this thing comes down to 21 cents. And so probably what I would like to do is do this. Nope. And just do it right here. I love setting this. So we're going to set an alarm on this wick that we saw on Friday, February 6th, right? So we're going to set an alarm at 67. Do it right before. 68.24. So add an alert. We'll do another one at $50. 24 cents, whatever. And then so these are simple things that you can do to help yourself DCA. You can edit the alerts to where, like, look, like the settings, the message, sold by, and you can change this. Like on some of these, like I'll go like later in the day, I will go get the JSON code to be able to put like, especially what I will do is put this one. And then the bottom one. I won't put the middle one in there. You can set your own zones up. But look, like notifications, notify in the app, show a toast, send an email, and get a webhook. And so like the webhook is what sends it to the Discord and all that stuff. But you can get yourself the messages to alert you to what's going on so that you do all this work and it doesn't go fucking like lost, right? And say you get busy in your day or the next couple days or whatever, and then the price goes down to this target, but you weren't staring at the chart all day, so you missed the opportunity, and then it rips up. You'll be mad at yourself. Set a fucking alarm and get the email, get the message, get the alert. It pops up on the phone, all that stuff. I will set the ones up in the Discord, so anybody who joins the Discord will see those. But let's see. So sold by, and then this one down here. Want to say message. I should say soul generational buy. Okay, so we've named. So now when we get those alerts, we get triggered. Like, oh shit, we know what's happening. You can change it to anything. You can set it to anything. Again, you can even set the webhooks if you've got a Discord that you run and send those alerts straight to the Discord to let your community know. That's what I'm building to let my community know. Look, we're doing this work. We know that at some point, once becomes what was once a wick becomes a candlestick. So if we come down there and this is just the new range, we're either going to continue to head down and go down this range, so we'll know and we'll start to pay attention, or it could just be the double bottom and then we bounce. We don't know. We don't know yet. We're not making the call. I fully expect everything to go down on just a little bit more on altcoins. That's why I'm not buying anything yet. And even on Bitcoin, if we look at, we've talked about this. I've got the opportunity zone set up right here on Bitcoin, and this is below 50,000. just below 40,000 into the 38s. And I firmly believe that if we do, and I'm not saying that we are going to, but if we do, we've got some wickage down here that would be at the very high side of it. We've got a lot of activity that we fought at here that would add that structural. There's no real support here. Like, this isn't a ton of support. So what I would think is that we would come back down to here like we've done in the past, break through, work, get the support here. Because I would hope, this is it right here. You see this volume node right here, right? So we'll set and learn on the high side of it right here. And so, if we do break down, we plunge below here, and we rest into this part, and we start to fight around here and gain that momentum, gain that volume, get that strength, build a new floor, build a new bottom, and then from there start to rise up. That's what I'm anticipating on. That's what I'm working towards. That's what I'm building on, and we'll see if it comes to fruition. If we ended up bottoming here at the 60,000, it is what it is. But I think we're going to come down a little bit more. I do. But you never know. Remember, we're in a downtrend until we're not, and right now we are in a downtrend. We are consolidating, much like what we did here. We consolidated, we got up, and then we went back down. We may consolidate, go up, and then come back down to the zone. You never know. Be prepared. Be prepared for both situations. Be prepared for that, right? Be prepared for it. Anticipate that it could happen. Obviously, we want Bitcoin to go to $1 million fucking dollars. We're permables, but we're being pragmatic. We're being sensible. The market is telling us we're continuing to go down. Now we're starting to see the headlines. Again, we're going back to that whole the bullish divergence, right? We're seeing the price go down, but the headlines are so bullish. The headlines are saying some amazing things, and at some point, they will intersect and they will collide and they will moon, baby, moon. We're in the middle of nowhere, at the bottom of nowhere, going nowhere. Right here. Yep. And we may continue to just fart around for a little bit longer. We'll see how that goes. Let's see. Coinbase criticizing the U.S. IRS digital asset tax reporting rules are overly complex. We'll check the AI summary here, and then we'll move on, because I know we're probably running a little long. We got a few more articles to get into. And then if there's any charts you guys want to see while we got the leapfrog indicator up so you can get a general idea of the VWAPs, we'll go through just a few of those. And I'm getting stuffy. Coinbase criticized U.S. digital asset regulation, calling the IRS's new tax reporting rules overly complex. It's because you have to, I think, all of the stablecoin, you have to report that when it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter because that's one-to-one. Let's see. The 1099 DA form risks over-reporting by including stablecoin trades and small gas fees. For this tax year, Coinbase reports only gross proceeds, not cost basis, leaving users to calculate their own capital gains tax. The platform plans to add cost-based reporting next year to simplify the process. Here you go. Coming up on that. All right, here's our other top Wall Street minds see AI rotation ahead as Bitcoin seeks role in new cycle. That's interesting. BlackRock's Rick Ryder, UBS's Ulrich Hoffman Bucardi, and Third Point's Daniel Loeb see steady economic growth, but a tougher market environment. Here we go. We love the what to know. Thank you for that, CoinDesk. Bitcoin this cycle hasn't necessarily worked as a hedge against dollar weakness, but in a maturing, more fragmented market, it may need to prove its value as a simpler, more liquid alternative to complex AI and software-driven bets. Interesting. So big-name Wall Street investors expect U.S. growth to stay resilient into 2026, even as the easy phase of the AI-driven market rally gives way to a more uneven stock-picking environment. Interesting. As capital rotates away from crowded mega cap tech trades towards sectors like industrials, electrification, and healthcare, Bitcoin may rely less on macro fear and more on its role as portfolio diversifier and institutional asset. So it's growing up. That's what we're reading right there. Is Bitcoin is growing up because it is part of the financial ecosystem. It's not really considered. That's interesting. It may rely less on macro fear and more on its role as a portfolio diversifier and institutional asset. That means it's being adopted. And I think that's the silent. I would say that that's probably like the narrative that we're underlie seeing. You know, again, it's like the bullish divergence. The price is showing us one thing. The price is showing us disinterest. It is showing distrust. It is showing all sorts of things negative. But the news is telling us something totally different. It is a portfolio diversifier. It is an institutional asset. It is something that is going to surprise many people in the coming years that probably, unfortunately, maybe had a bad experience, right? Or, you know, they had heard about it and then heard someone else had a bad experience, and so they stayed away. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of regret. Once we see Bitcoin really blossom. And that's just so weird to say. Once we see Bitcoin actually become what it was intended to in the eyes of the institutions, because I don't think Satoshi ever expected this, unless Satoshi was, again, the CIA and this was part of the whole PSYOP and all that stuff. But if it was intended to be a peer-to-peer thing that ended up outgrowing that, you know, the institutions, the governments, and all that, I don't believe we're ever part of this. And you know what we can do? Let's break down the white paper again. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's do a throwback. We'll break down the white paper one of these days. We'll do the whole read of it. But for now, let's move on to RWAs, because this is the narrative. This is the asset. Tokenized assets exceeding 25 billion after a nearly quadrupling in a year. And we can see all of that stuff here. Look, it was like, it says 2023, but like I mean, people must have been working on this stuff behind the scenes, because this in 2023 this was not a narrative. You know, it started becoming a narrative in 2024, and I would say, you know, towards the tail end of 2023 maybe is when people started to talk about some of this stuff, but probably it was more like 2024 when the narrative really started to focus on, what's the tokenization of real world assets? Like, what are we talking about here? I know that's when it interested me back in 2024, and that's when we made it a focus for what I was doing. But global market cap, let's just take a look at the article first. So again, it exceeds 25 billion. We just saw it's over 26 billion. Treasuries, private credit, commodities driving growth, but most tokenized assets remain isolated from DeFi markets. That means we've got a lot to go. And if you look at some of the studies, we've talked about that. It's the Boston Consulting Group. They were talking 16 trillion by 2030. We are going to be way higher than that, I believe, if everything starts to fall in line. What to know? Tokenized real-world assets, excluding stablecoins, have surged to more than 25 billion on-chain, nearly quadrupling in a year, with 6 categories now exceeding 1 billion each. Much of the growth reflects large, infrequent institutional allocations rather than active secondary trading. Also, issuers prioritize capital information funding, formation and fundraising efficiency over liquidity. Only about 12% of the roughly 8.5 billion in RWA-backed stablecoins is deployed in DeFi, leaving most assets siloed behind compliance barriers and raising questions about whether tokenization will integrate with permissionless finance. And I'm fairly confident that it is going to. There may be some people who are gatekeeping. Look, that's the same thing we look at every day. Everybody loves RWA.xyz. There's a lot of good things. Not only, is this better than 301 billion? Yeah, okay. So we can replace DeFi Llama with, where the hell did it go? Yeah, here we go. Shout out to DeFi Llama. We like DeFi Llama. But moving forward, we're probably going to use RWA.xyz to check our stablecoin information, because we see just a little bit more information right off the rip. It's a little bit easier on the eyes. I would like to see night mode. RWA.xyz, night mode. Deposit bonus. Deposit bonus. Volume bonus. Deposit bonus. Volume bonus. Get some free money. Get free money. Get free money. free crypto money to trade. Look, you can deposit $2,000 and get $200 and just trade with the $200. Once you get to $200, just trade with the $200. It's not that hard. That's free money. And then get your volume up and give more free money. Use your $200 to do 5 million in volume and give $400, and then you got $600 free dollars plus whatever you made trading because you're a good trader. You're going to listen to what we're doing. You're going to ask questions. We're going to talk together. You're going to join the Discord. You're going to do all that stuff. We are going to grow our accounts together. I was originally going to do the $1,000 to $10,000 challenge, and listen. I've gone up and down all that stuff, but I'm going to change that. It's going to be probably next week. Again, going to Chicago this week, so we don't want to start it this week because I want to be able to focus a little bit more on that stuff. So next week we are going to be launching the Discord. We are also going to be starting a 100 to $1,000 competition, and let's see. And we'll start, and this will be in the Discord, so I'll create a room for that. Everybody who wants to join it, all you got to do is we'll do a screenshot of the starting point, your account at $100, and then we just do P&Ls. We'll have it'll just be a private room in there for anybody who's in the competition, and we'll just do P&L screenshots. And the first person to make $1,000 off their $100, you win something. And we'll have more details about that next week. But we're going to do all sorts of launch stuff to get people rolling, to get people to have some fun, and to join the community. So, and if you know anybody that should join our community, any other traders, and again, they could be people that have shows and all that stuff, because it'd be great to have them on and talk with them. And they don't have to come on at 8 in the morning. Like I was talking with AJ last week. Him and I are going to record an interview, and then I'm just going to play it at 8 a.m. And so we could do that with other people too. So if anybody wants to be on the show but don't want to be ready at 8 a.m., that's fine. We can record it at any point throughout the day, and I'll just air it as a premiere. No problem. Or I will go live. We'll play the video, and then we can talk about it. All that, whatever, anything, no matter. Just if you want to join the group. Let's go. Get trading. And then also Wednesday night trade daddies. All right. Bitcoin and Ether ETFs experienced consecutive weekly inflows amid market shifts. Friday was a different story, though. Thursday and Friday, we both had outflows. But the week, look, was it crypto? What was on here? Bitcoin? Yeah, Bitcoin and Ethereum. So you got to either do Bitcoin or crypto. Crypto, that one. Look, I feel like some of their data's wrong. Although it's only 9:14. So we'll have to watch the news to learn what the PSYOP is. Absolutely. My guy David knows what's up. Watch the news to learn what the PSYOP is, because they're basically going to tell you. And if you understand that it's a PSYOP, just watch it all, process it, and just read between the lines, because that's all you got to do. It's like, again, it's like the articles. Like, first off, I've been in crypto for many years, and I understand the markets. Markets are cyclical. That's the one thing that a lot of us, maybe we forget sometimes, and we get too upset that maybe we're trending down. Remember, markets will go back up. And so we read between the lines. At some point we are going to bottom. We're getting damn near close to the bottom, I think. Or we're going to trade sideways for a little bit, and then go down one more time, and then we will start to go back up. Again, it is inevitable. So let's just read between the lines. Look, the price, this is the bullish divergence is playing out. Price is going down. But you guys, we're going through the articles. Everything is bullish. Everything is bullish. ETFs are inflowing. Again, the last 2 days, maybe we're on Thursday and Friday, we're outflow. Today is a new week. We were, on the 30-day. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so today is the 30th day on the 30th, on 30, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we need today to be positive, and then we've gone 15 and 15. That's funny. I guess we need to put a more of a positive couple days in order to trend. We're not trending. We're not trending up. All right. That's our double chart. That's everything, I think. Yeah. Let's see. We talked about, we got into crypto. We looked at stablecoin charts. Looked at the cockroaches. BlackRock having to shut some stuff down, halting withdrawals. The bank run on BlackRock. Oof. The Clarity Act going to be coming soon. Hopefully. One report says April. One report says July. We'll see. I know the whole idea was the the administration was looking to fast track that. So again, we want to make sure that we don't drag our feet, but we don't want to have things that would ultimately be detrimental or the demise to our industry. That would not be good. Some clarity and some ground rules. Look, we're already past the point of no return, so there's no point in saying the government has no business in Bitcoin. That's not what it was intended for. No shit. But we're too late. Retail lost. It's institutional. It is going by the way of governments and sovereign wealth funds and nation states are loading up. The rumors on the streets are, this is getting ready to happen. So what are you going to do? If you can't beat them, fucking join them, right? Join them. Learn what's going on. Understand. Don't be a salad finger and paper hand lettuce finger and sell your shit, right? Understand. We are getting ready, gearing up. We may have a little bit of a challenge over the next couple months. We may have a little bit of a challenge and go down. We may trend down. We may trend up. We may trend sideways. We may go all three in between. But at the end of the day, the overall zoom out expectation is we're going way the fuck up. Way up. So read the headlines. See the charts. Draw your lines. Understand that in the short term, we may be going down. I am fully expecting 39,000. Give me that sub 40,000. Scam wick it down. I don't care. I will have orders planned and ready to go. You always hear about those people on crypto Twitter. They're like, oh, God, I had an order crazy. I just, didn't think it was ever going to, get picked up. But the scam wick picked it up. It fucking happens. There are leverage liquidation flushes before big movements. That's what happens, right? So even if we trend down for a little bit or we go sideways and then we scam wick down to 40,000 or below, or we sit at 39,000 and when we consolidate there and then we do a little bit of a wah and then go up, just be ready. Set your lines. Get your alerts. Be ready. Because the underlying story of all of this is that crypto is being adopted by institutions, by governments. They are laying the framework. This is all the shit that we have been dreaming, hoping, wishing for since I got into this industry, right? This is all of it. We talk about mass adoption all the time. When people can use crypto and we don't have to point it in their faces because that's what we do because we're fucking idiots and we just can't have a conversation about crypto without either boring people or talking way over their head. It is what it is. And that's the way that it's been. But over the next little bit here, as the framework gets laid out, I told you earlier, once the Clarity Act passes, it has been said that banks are going to go all in. That banks have to load up. They become the custody solution at that point. They've got the clients. Yeah, Coinbase is going to do their shit. Yeah, Crypto.com is going to do their shit. Yeah, Binance is going to do that shit. All of these companies that are crypto focused, that are blockchain enabled, that are transitioning over to banks, why do you think they're transitioning to chartered banks? So they can meet in the fucking middle. It's coming. It's coming. I hope you are ready. I am ready mentally. I am not ready in my portfolio. Nobody will ever be ready in their portfolio. But my goal is to kick and scream and make as much Bitcoin as I can before this thing goes nuclear. Because once it does, it's fucking out of reach and you are only buying sats. You are not buying a tenth of a Bitcoin. You are not buying large groups. You are buying few sats. That's what it's going to be when this takes off. We are on borrowed time. We've got, according to Dan from Pantera Capital, Dan Moorhead, the founder, CEO of Pantera Capital, we've got 2 to 3 years before there's basically a nuclear arms race for Bitcoin. That's what he says. If this Clarity Act passes this year, I don't know if we have 2 to 3 years. I think it's going to happen faster than that. I think we're sitting on borrowed time. We got a little time, but it's borrowed time. $10 link at a time. Just do what you can. IDCA $50. $50 in a Bitcoin. A week. Just as a DCA, just to say that I'm doing it. Will I buy larger chunks? Absolutely. But every week without fail, $50 of Bitcoin goes into cold storage. Sometimes more. But at least $50. And I could do more. You could do less. You could do whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with, as long as you are trying. Remember, 1% better. Mind, body, portfolio. That's all you got to do. That's going to do it for today. I appreciate y'all joining. Thank you. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you smash the like on the way out of here. If you're watching on LinkedIn, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining. I am just getting started streaming over on LinkedIn. So if there are things that I can be doing better, if you are a LinkedIn native and you are watching, you're like, bro, you got to do this, let me know. Shoot me a comment. You can down in the chat, you can put it there. You can shoot me a message over on LinkedIn. I appreciate that. If you are watching on X, what's up, homies? That is the home. That is the platform. Guys, make sure that you hit the heart, tag some friends, repost the video. We will be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. for more morning macro. So 9:30, getting ready to kick off here in just a few minutes. Make sure you set your charts, your Bitcoin charts in the 15-minute. Mark the top of the candle, mark the bottom of the candle, wait for it to make a definitive move outside of that zone, and then make your own decision. But I'm going to trade the breakout of the zone there. I will be watching to make sure that it's not a fake out before the breakout and all that stuff. But that's the whole premise behind it. Back tested this thing with Mike the Modern Canadian for several days, many times actually. All right. And so with that being said, you can make some decent amount of trading. It's sometimes a couple percent on the movement. And that first at the beginning of the day can have some violent movement. And so you can get your scalp. In theory, you can get your scalp and get in and out of your trade and trade one time and be done for the day if you get it right. So you can also stay in it for a majority of the day. There have been some big days, and then sometimes it comes back down to the zone. And then there are days like Friday where it doesn't even ever fucking leave the zone. It did for a second, and then came right back into it and traded in the zone pretty much the entire day. And so, the liquidity on Thursdays starts to wean out. Friday, it's pretty low. Today is Monday. There should be some activity. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart before. Let's put it up on the. Put it on the 5-minute. See what's popping. I'm feeling a little congested today. Okay, so we are in. It's gray because we have that box up. Let's see. Let's go to. I want to get rid of that box for a second. It's this one right here. So this is our larger zone that we're in. Obviously, I'll just show you guys how to do this really quick. So this, say that we, go down a little bit and say this was the 9:30 15-minute candle. You'd put a top there, excuse me. And then right where this wick ends, you'd put the bottom there, right? And then you wait for the 9:30 candle to close. So at 9:45 is when you start. Usually it fights in here, and then it'll make a decision on if it wants to go up or down. and you can trade that break. You can also wait, because it does do this sometimes. You're on the 15-minute candle, but you can look at you can look at a lower time frame and watch this thing. Like, it might go down and then come back up and get rejected back down, or it might come back down and then go back up and then shoot up the other way. I've seen that happen. So you really want to be really watching the direction that this candle is going. So I will delete these because this is not the right candle. The 9:30 starts in 3 minutes here on the East Coast. And so put your charts on 15 minutes. Gear up. See what you're gonna do. Let me know. Shoot me a DM or shoot me a message or join if you are in the Discord. Let me know if you get in there. We'll open some stuff up. But it looks like, if I was a betting man, based on this chart, the that's what's going to happen today. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, right? We'll keep this up here. We'll look at the chart a little bit tomorrow, and that is going to do it for today. I appreciate you, David Rowe made it here too. Completely forgot about these. All right, there it is, David, my guy. All right, that's it for today. That is it. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for joining us. Smash the like button on your way out of here. I'll see you in the morning, and ciao for now.